Hi, I'm Callie, and that's Ginger. Oh my gosh, hold on, I have to show you the sleepy puppy. Look at the sleepy puppy. Oh, I disturbed her nap. I'm sorry. Hello everyone, I'm Callie, and today I will be telling you 9 good habits that I've picked up while learning languages. It is taking me years to develop these habits, and I thought it would be helpful if I made a video for all of you language learners out there. These habits can apply to pretty much almost any language out there, so it doesn't matter what you're learning. Also, let me know what language you're learning, and if you're learning more than one, or you're only learning one, let me know. I'm learning German and Korean right now. In the future, I hope to become fluent in Spanish, but for now, I've put that on pause. So let's move on to the actual habits. So habit number 1 is consistency. In my opinion, it is one of the most important habits to have. Consistency develops routines, and it gives you the momentum to just keep going, to build up that habit, Studying your language every once in a while is not helpful at all. In fact, you may end up forgetting almost everything you've studied in past sessions. So to stay consistent without feeling overwhelmed, I recommend taking 5 minutes each day to study. Just 5 minutes. I think 5 minutes is an approachable time to study. We all have 5 minutes, right? On days I don't have much time, 5 minutes is a good amount, to play around in a language app, maybe review some flashcards, read a short story really quick, listen to a quick podcast. It's manageable, and it'll keep you consistent in building the habit. On the other hand, if I do have time, but I don't feel like studying, I'm feeling really lazy, 5 minutes is a good amount of time for me to not do that much work, but continue to build the habit of studying every day. Or sometimes, if I don't feel like studying and I review stuff for 5 minutes, it's sort of like a warm-up, and then I'm like, ooh, I'm ready to study now. So my 5-minute study session just turned into a 30-minute study session. So I recommend you give it a try, just for 5 minutes each day. And if you need help keeping track of your studies, I recommend you check this out. I've created a printable language tracker. It includes vocabulary tracking and a whole lot more. So head to my website and get yours. I will leave the link in the description. And if you have an Instagram, share with me if you get your own. I would love to see you use it, and let me know if it's been helpful for you, okay? So moving on to habit number 2, stop rushing, okay? Let me say it again, stop rushing. I used to be guilty of this when I started learning Korean years ago. I would zoom through the chapters. I'd be like,
oh, I got this. I am the bomb. I am learning so fast.
But then if I were to go back to review, it'd be like, I've never seen that chapter before in my life. And I'm like, what the heck is this? So then I'd have to relearn it. Or if I think I've got it and I didn't review anyways, and I meet someone who speaks Korean and I have a chance to use what I've learned, I can't use it because I didn't remember it. So I'm gonna need you, and I'm talking to myself as well, slow down. Even if I think I understand, I should still continue to make a bit more effort to have it really ingrained in my brain. So I suggest you take it slow and find multiple resources that discuss what you are learning. For example, let's say you're learning greetings. So you would learn greetings in like your chapter book, take notes like you normally would, and then I want you to find a YouTube video that is also discussing the greetings that you're learning. Find another YouTube video that is discussing the greetings, take notes of that as well. And then I would like you to find a free resource online and take notes from that as well. It's a lot of notes, but honestly, hearing and reading different explanations for things is really helpful, and it'll really get it to stick in your head because you're just hearing and reading it over and over. So it may take a bit longer, but it's so worth it when you don't have to relearn anything and you don't forget it. Take it slow. Moving on to habit number 3, master the basics. This is important in any language, as well as any topic really, especially if the language you're learning has a different writing system than your own. Take the time to really focus on that and then build from there. You know, this includes simple conjugations and phrases as well. So, mini story time. When I first began learning German, I sort of breezed through the alphabet. I was like,
oh, this is easy, it's similar to English, it's fine.
And then when I got a tutor and she asked me to spell my name, I was just like, I felt so stupid. I couldn't even spell my name, but I can say all of these phrases and whatever. You know, it was so embarrassing. So after that class, I went back and I studied the alphabet. Learning the basics gives you a strong foundation so you're able to build and keep building on top of that. So don't skip the basics in any language or any topic. Just take it slow, like the last habit, and learn. Okay? That one was quick. Now moving on to habit number 4. Oh, this one is my favorite. Use your devices. If you're anything like me, then you may be a bit shy to practice your language skills with an actual person. For a long time, I've sort of just talked to myself, but after a while, it gets kind of boring, and yeah, I just didn't really like doing it anymore. So this is where you would use technology to your advantage. And if it is available to you, I suggest you use it. You can use Siri, Alexa, Google Home, and things similar to that, and talk to it. Switch the language settings and just have at it. It is so fun. It's okay, it sounds kind of sad, but what am I trying to say? It's more fun than talking to yourself. It kind of feels like you're having a conversation, kinda. I switched my Siri settings to German. Wie heißt du?
Mein Name ist Siri, aber das wusstest du ja schon.
Wie ist die Wetter?
Aktuell ist es teilweise bewölkt und 72 Grad.
Is it das Wetter oder die Wetter? I don't remember, but she responded anyways. I have been enjoying it so far. I asked her, like, what's the weather? What time is it? Is there any good food nearby? Tell me a joke, read me a story, what's 2 + 2? You know, simple stuff like that I actually can say. And I'm not that advanced yet, so I can't say more advanced things, but you know, you gotta practice with what you have. You know, ask Siri where she's from. Ask her what's her name, even though you already know it. You know, simple stuff. And it helps with your pronunciation as well, because if Siri can understand what you're saying, then you know you're saying something wrong, and then you have a chance to fix it. Habit number 5, write in a journal. If you aren't learning a language for school, when do you ever have the chance to write an essay or a story? Probably never, right? I would never put myself through that torture to write an essay. So, in order to get your writing practice in, I recommend keeping a diary or a bullet journal, whatever you want to use it. I have my own diary for Korean, and basically I just write how my day went. You know, simple stuff. Now that I'm more in an intermediate level, I can write more complex sentences, but when I was a beginner, I would just write, my day is good. And each day that I learned something new, I was able to keep building upon my writing skills. I haven't started a diary for German yet, but you know what? After this video, I'm going to start one, and I recommend you do so as well, okay? Moving on to habit 6. This one is personalized to you. I want you to create a routine that works for you. And I'm emphasizing the you part because if my routine doesn't work for you and your friend's routine doesn't work for you, then something's not right and you need to change it up a bit so it works for you. Okay? So what I may do or your friend does may be unrealistic to you, or it even may be too simple for you if you're like hardcore. But if you're having trouble creating your own routine, I recommend you check out today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare offers loads of inspiring classes for lifelong learners like ourselves on topics such as productivity, freelancing, and even languages. With your membership, you'll get more than just videos. You can create real projects, and get support from other learners as well. Classes like these keep you inspired and you will be able to accomplish real growth. Classes I enjoy taking are studying effectively, productivity, as well as entrepreneurship. One class I'm taking now is called Simple Productivity: How to Accomplish More with Less by Greg McKeown. One takeaway I took from this class was to eliminate non-essentials. When learning a language, it can be tempting to download all the apps and buy all the books, but really that's just overwhelming you and overcomplicating things. So when I simplified my studying, I was able to flourish and learn. There are no ads and classes are constantly being added, so you will never get bored. Explore Skillshare to unlock your creativity, and the first 1,000 people to use the link in the description will get a free Skillshare Premium membership to try. So thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and let's move on to habit number 7, to listen to podcasts. I didn't start doing this until maybe a few months ago, and at first I was listening to podcasts of advanced or native speakers just having conversations in German, but I didn't understand it, and so I just got bored and sort of just pushed it away. But then I discovered, I never knew this existed, but there are podcasts that actually teach you languages. And one podcast that I have been loving lately is Coffee Break German. I believe they teach Italian, French, and Spanish as well, maybe Portuguese, I think. But they are teaching me German from the beginning, and it's half English and a little bit of German. So I'm able to actually learn something instead of listening to people jabber on. While I think that is effective in listening, I'm not really learning, you know? So I recommend finding a podcast that teaches you the language you're learning. And I normally listen to it when I'm commuting, walking my dog, maybe doing my skincare routine, something like that where I don't need 100% focus. So do your research and find a good podcast for your language. The next habit is to read. Reading is good both in your native language and whatever language you're learning right now. I feel like I can reinforce what I learned by reading. I can also learn new vocabulary in different types of context. So if you're advanced, obviously go for the advanced books or whatever. And then if you're a complete beginner, maybe stick with like kids stories, short stories. So right now, I've found like short little paragraphs that I can sort of dissect and read and figure out what it means. And I'm not at the kid stories yet. I haven't learned that much grammar, but you know, reading from the very beginning is very helpful as well. Plus, I learned so much vocab from reading, and if I don't know a word that I'm reading, I'd simply like highlight it and then add it to my flashcards. And the ninth, that was 6. And the 9th habit, which may sound kind of counterintuitive, but I want you to make mistakes. It is part of the process. In my past videos, I've seen comments where people are so afraid to make mistakes, and that just seems so unrealistic. I even make mistakes in English sometimes. Like even filming this video, I've stumbled upon my words, and you're gonna make mistakes, and making mistakes actually helps you learn because you're like, oh, I messed that up last time. It's actually this. So make mistakes, embrace them, don't be embarrassed by them, just learn from them, okay? So that is it. Those are the 9 habits I think you should pick up as a language learner. And I hope they were helpful, some of them. Let me know which habits you think you might want to try. And if you like these sort of general language learning videos, let me know, because I know my videos are towards Korean, but if you'd like to see how I'm learning German or any other language, let me know in the comments as well. Don't forget to check out my website if you would like to download my digital tracker to keep track of your language learning, okay? Follow me on Instagram, subscribe, do all of the fun stuff so we can stay in touch, and I will see you in the next video. 안녕히 가세요. Tschüss. Did I say it right? Tschüss. Auf Wiedersehen. 다음 시간에 만나요. You're up in the sky.